sTAtic here. Good morning. What's up, guys and ladies? Yeah, it's Monday. I'm back. Took a little road trip this weekend. Back to my old hometown, which I haven't been to in close to a quarter of a century. I left there in 2003 and never looked back. Small town in upstate New York. And oh my God, it has fallen apart. Dilapidation would be the word of the day for that town. It's kind of depressing, but it's kind of cool. I got to show my kids, hey, this is Dad's old paper route, and this is where he went to school, and et cetera, et cetera. So it was a cool little weekend. Yeah, the story of the day, I wanted to go over Bitcoin, but before we do that, what is the ticker? Oil futures. 31%. Oil is skyrocketed. It's great if you own oil. If you don't own oil, that means you got to buy oil. And I don't mean necessarily on the chart. I mean at the pumps. Cost of groceries is going to keep going up. Everything is about energy and cost of energy. And when energy spikes, particularly oil, it makes everything expensive. So this is some of the ramifications of what we're seeing with Iran. Mainly the Strait of Hormuz, which is that little bottleneck in the Red Sea that all the oil, I think some crazy number, like 50, 60, 70% of the world's oil has to go through. Yeah, and there's all sorts of ramifications for this Iran stuff. Don't want to get too political about it, but I think it's pretty stupid. We're liberating people who have no guns to go liberate themselves. There's no plan. The plan keeps changing. We've already lost U.S. servicemen who are not boots on the ground. They are human beings in boots. It's just the whole thing's silly. But here's the ramifications of that type of destabilization in the Middle East. Oil prices have skyrocketed. Highest levels seen since September 23. Over here, this big spike in March of 22 would have been, what was that? Oh, that was the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. Another destabilizing factor. But yeah, this may take a little breather here, but potential targets on oil futures would be 120, 130, 150 if it goes into some sort of expansion there. Again, this is very news driven, obviously. So if like tomorrow the Trump administration says that they've ended operations in Iran, or there's some sort of negotiation or deal, then all this obviously changes quickly. As you can see, 31% in a week, most of which was in just the last 72 hours. But yeah, that's oil futures, and that is going to cause a lot of things to spike in terms of your everyday costs. Bitcoin, though, I wanted to go over that on, I think it was Thursday or Friday. We were up around 73 and change. I was saying that you didn't really have anything till you got to at least 74.5. It seems like it topped out at 74.1. This was, to me, nothing more than a sucker's rally. I believe I had said that we were most likely coming to fill in this bearish fair value gap. I said on Thursday or Friday that I had very low odds that we would even come attack this fair value gap, which so far we have not. So that this remains unmitigated. I don't think it's going to get touched. I think we're going to roll over and head on down farther. We often get pumps in on the 4-year cycle. We often get pumps in March. I think if you go back, let's see, what do we got here? December, January, February, March. Yep. So here, you see we go down, little suckers rally in March, and then it rolls over in April. That was last cycle. If we go back to January, February, March, here you go. Little first part of the new year, January, February, March, and then it rolls over. And I think if we keep going back, you'll see similar stuff there. So this is nothing to freak out about and be like, did I miss it? Is it? Are we going to the moon now? I do not believe we are. Again, we talked on Thursday, Friday. There's no reason to turn around here. There's no liquidity that's been grabbed. There's no inverse fair value gaps. Target at a minimum, in my opinion, is down here around 49.50, most likely headed to 48 to 45, possibly as low as 38.39. But like we spoke about on Thursday, Friday, the liquidity down here that would have been stop losses below this level has already been taken out by this wick right here in the week of January 22nd, 2024. So the only unmitigated liquidity grabs for stop losses that I can see hover right around here between 52.48. So my thought process is going to look something like this. If this is where most people's stop losses are, I believe that price action is going to eventually come down here, wick through this, take out those stop losses, and then potentially that could be the end of the bear market, which also puts in, again, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type of Elliott wave ABC retracement. So that's thoughts on Bitcoin. Today, I'm expecting to see some volatility in the market. If we look at, I usually trade ProShares, just easier. Oil, ProShares oil is UCO. If you were shorting it, it's SCO. Just looking on a weekly chart. Same type of spike, obviously. You've got relatively equal highs over here, triple top. That's going to be something that's going to get targeted here for liquidity. If this pump continues to go up, they're going to search to take out these relatively equal highs right in this area. So possible price targets today, or well, not necessarily today. We'll see how the day evolves. It could be a breather day, but eventually, if this Iran thing doesn't get resolved, targets would be above $35 to take out stop losses up here. Down here, you got relatively equal lows, double bottom. This is on a weekly chart again. They sit at $17, but for trading purposes today, obviously I'm on the 5-minute chart. It's going to be the same strategy we employed last week. I'm going to wait for 15-minute opening range on anything. I've got alerts set up to let me know when there's breakouts. I've got it set up for my ProShares tickers, and then volatility as well. Volatility, what I do is pretty simple. Let me change over to the full screen here. Might be easier to see. Yeah, every morning, pre-market volatility, I'm looking for anything that has changed by greater than 5% pre-market, and then I kind of throw them into my watch list for the day and try and make some money off of these big movers. The guys, pre-market 17%, 25%. I don't even know what this is. Turb. Let's see. 5-minute chart. This is the New York midnight open, this purple line right here. Let's see if before market open in the next 15 minutes we can sweep this, sweep some liquidity or something, and then head off to the upside. Hopefully this will not be a down day. Speaking of down, that's another one. S&P. Actually, let's go to this one. Yeah, S&P's party could be over. I don't know. Starting to look pretty weak here. Very, very rounding. Right. This is on a weekly chart. It's been rolling over, kind of flattened out here. A couple of attempts to break structure, getting punted down. Some swing failure patterns that look like a bunch of BS. But if you kind of look at the structure here on the weekly, turn this into a line chart. That doesn't look too positive. You could get some back tests here, but, I think that markets are not very happy right now with what's going on in the world. I mean, there's really nothing positive. We got wars in Iran. The, U.S. government is in debt. It's in chaos. Government officials don't know what they're doing. Markets are a little sketched out right now. I mean, we could see an S&P that rolls over and retest 6,100 easily over the next few weeks to a month. Could be accelerated depending on, geopolitical factors. So how's everybody doing this morning? I got a whopping 8 people watching me. Actually, 7, because I think I actually have the stream up on my phone. I don't know if that helps the algo. Maybe I should like myself. Well, I'm going to start doing some scanning here. Trying to see if I can pick out any targets for the morning. This is a potential order block right here. Already has come back, retested this as support. Let's see if we can get it to double test it, possibly get some sort of entry there today, depending on what the candles look at the time. Going to set an alert. Just looking at the chat here, sound of silence. Things are good aside from gas being nuts again. Hopefully things are good in your personal life. If you're talking about things in the world and in the economy, I gotta say no to that one. $7 a gallon in the Bay Area for diesel. Where'd you learn how to read charts like this at sTAtic Trading? Practice. A lot of practice. I started this in probably 2007 with a Thinkorswim, Ameritrade type of account, and had no idea what I was doing. I had bought like a book or two to try and understand, what was going on the screen. It was a tough go. Definitely wasn't really making any money, paying the tuition there, losing money. I think what really benefited me was around 2007. People forget YouTube has not been around forever. I'm 46 years old. In 2007, I believe YouTube was invented, created, put out there. People started pushing content. And then obviously over those first few years, it became a lot easier to consume information from people who knew what they were doing. I picked up an awful lot from YouTube in the beginning in terms of how to understand how to read a chart in a more efficient way in terms of time-wise, time spent driving in my car to work, listening to some guy talk about, what a Japanese candlestick was. That's how I got into this and just kind of fell in love with it. The idea that this all means something. I figured to myself, somebody's making money. Why can't I make money off this? And that's how I got into charting. And I learn every day. I continue to learn. I learned something the other day. What was it? Oh, a minute thing about order blocks that I had never really thought of before. And now I add that to my toolbox. All right, top movers today. Anybody trading this morning, or we got just people driving to work or something? Who's actually trading with me this morning? Oh, MOBX, I was telling Jarsky yesterday on Discord, has been bugging me. It just keeps doing what I want it to do, but it keeps doing it after hours. So like here, I was waiting for it to come back to this box Thursday at 12 noon. And it finally did come back where I wanted it to buy, but it happened literally 10 minutes before market close. So I missed that, not because it didn't do what I wanted it to do. It did exactly what I thought it would do, but I couldn't make my entry because I don't like to keep open positions during, after market hours. So then Friday, I came down here. I waited for it to take off, and I was waiting for it to come back. And sure enough, it came right back to where I wanted it. But again, same thing, 10 minutes before market close. So I keep missing opportunities here on MOBX. I would like it to do a thing I want it to do in the morning so I could watch it during the day and profit from it. That's right, Morty. We are hustlers. You ever see that social media video with the woman explaining to Mr. No Shirt Beanie Guy about drinking out of the garden hose where sink's not an option? I mean, if you haven't been shot with a BB gun, have you really lived? DCA on AMC. AMC, that is it still at $5? I haven't looked at AMC since 2021. That's at $1. You're DCAing on AMC? Why? Oof. I can't believe AMC is poor movie theaters. I honestly, I can't even believe movie theaters are still open. If you think about it, it's kind of amazing they've held on this long with streaming. I'll never get the 25-cent night Doge to the moon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my claim to fame. Yeah, in Tame's Discord. Who's this idiot? sTAtic what? 25 cents? You're out of your mind. Doge is going to $1. No, sir. Let's see, where's Doge at right now? 911. Oof, that's ironic. Well, right here we got relatively equal lows. That is probably your next liquidity target on a weekly. So break of structure there would be sub 8 cents. Next logical spot for stop losses. 2 targets, obviously. I mean, you could see it right here on the chart. I would imagine there are stop losses under here, and there are stop losses under here. A lot of stop losses in this area. So your next likely target, let's see, is there any liquidity above our head? Yeah, there's probably some liquidity up here. 15 cents. Anything's possible, but I mean, you can see they've already back tested this 15 cents. This is on a weekly, so if you went to a daily, you could see here, I mean, after this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times this has been tested. Yes, there's a substantial amount of orders up here. But you got so many levels you got to get through. You got to get, even to target that, you got to get through this one. And you can see here's the manipulation move. Obviously, there was a bunch of stop losses stocked up here. Took it down, wiped out those stop losses, grabbed that liquidity, took it back up. Just back testing right now with huge rejections on both these daily wicks. Yeah, you might get some sort of quick grab here, maybe up here, but then eventually this is rolling over. Bitcoin's rolling over. Crypto, any other crypto is rolling over. Bitcoin is the sun. Everything else is just in its gravity. I guess while we're on here, we could look at some other ADA weekly. Yeah, it's got to hold the line here, clearly. Will it? I don't think so. I mean, most of these are just hot garbage. Ape. I mean, isn't this related to AMC in some way? I think, right? Didn't AMC issue a Ape coin or something? Like, what a joke. What an absolute joke. Oh my God. $26.09. Ouch. Yeah, like here's a good example. I remember this too. Because I remember telling people like hold up, be careful. I mean, you've got major support here on, what is this, Filecoin? Major support, major support, major support, major support. And then it broke this support pretty heavily. Dropped down to consolidate in October, swing failure pattern. And then we got this little pump. Here it comes. Not little, it was pretty big. 70%, 50%. Like if you knew it was coming, yeah, you could have made money. The problem that a lot of people probably found themselves in is they said, oh, here it is. Here's the altcoin season. And so they bought, which if you look at this chart, you're insane. Why would you buy here? You're basically just retapping previous support that goes all the way back to 2018. So what is that? 5-6 years of support. I mean, my radar went off instantaneously. This is probably not a good idea to get involved in that because you are exit liquidity at that point. Yeah, anybody who bought that when it was, I don't know, let's be generous, let's say 249, has currently lost 61% of their money. This literally was, let's just try and get the dumbest money possible into this market, and so that we can sell them our broken positions. Basically, everybody who had DCA'd through here, you know, in terms of whales, intentionally brought this back up so that they could exit out of those broken positions before they dumped it. So be careful with relief rallies. Yep, here's another one. GLM, just broken. What's going on with Zcash? Yeah, it's doing what I thought it would do. There's my downward rocket from December when it was in this BS ascending triangle. 12-hour time frame. Yeah, triple top, double top, bear flagging. Started off as an ascending triangle right here. Broke that. This is just a change of character inducement. They're basically inducing people into the market so they can get out, and then it just rolled over. Yeah, crypto is right now is just, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole right now. It's just absolutely dead. USDT dominance. I posted this on Instagram back in the day. When I say back in the day, what was that? Beginning of the year, January. USDT dominance, for those that don't know, runs inverse to Bitcoin. Yeah, like back in at the end of the 2020 21 bear market, finally get a breakout here. If you add Bitcoin to this, you can see that they run inverse. So sometimes you can get hints from USDT. What's gonna transpire. So as soon as you start to see this breakout here, you can see that it front runs a bottom. You come back down here. Here's your back test, and that's when it starts finally pumping. Here, let me get rid of. How do I get rid of Bitcoin? My brain is fried right now. Let's try this again. Oh my God, help. There we go. Excuse me. So yeah, USDT, angular resistance, and then broke out and then did this beautiful bull flag, which I posted on Instagram around January, February. And then, yeah, popped out, did its thing, and that caused Bitcoin to do some dippity dip. XTZ, what is that, Tezos or whatever? Yeah, Tezos. More hot garbage. All right, I'm done looking at crypto. Let's check out 30 minutes to market open. Let's see if there's any pre-market liquidations going on here. 5-minute chart. Make sure I'm off log. I am. All right. AAOI coming into oversold territory. Was a bearish divergence here. It looks like it's already kind of playing out. Targeting this order block potentially. So I have a notification set up at about $95. This is a little too pixelated pre-market in terms of liquidity. We'll have to see if it develops into a little more liquidity as the day goes on. See if BATL wants to hold at this equilibrium. It's already tested it a couple of times. Little thing about liquidity and stop losses. You see here that this candle over here took out this wick. It doesn't necessarily mean that all the stop losses got triggered. If anything, this looks like, if you take this into a context here, let's say that's the range right there. So if you say to yourself, oh, look, all the liquidity got taken out. Not necessarily, because this really isn't significant. Well, and secondly, it didn't take out this over here. This is not a big enough spike through for a manipulation. And also look at the candle that developed. It's an indecision candle. You know, if the bulls and bears are in equilibrium there. So this one's kind of in a range right now. Could go either way. There's liquidity on both sides. You know, and if we go to higher time frames, you'll see here, like on a daily, again, just indecision. This is an indecision candle. There's your next candle that prints on the daily could be a bull candle that goes to target this liquidity up here. Could be a bear candle that goes to target this liquidity down here and fill in this kind of gap there. This is one that I would not personally probably get involved in here, because all we're doing is ranging. I'd be more interested if it breaks 25. Anybody wanted to short it, 23 and below is your entry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think all of these are already on my chart. Yep. Well, my goal today is to make some money. I wasn't trading on Friday, so that is a lost day. And today is the 9th of March, so, you know, bills are coming due at the end of this month. I got 20 days left to make a living. You were told what was recession-proof? AMC sound? Actually had AMC during that whole Roaring Kitty thing. I remember that day Robinhood really screwed us. I had a pretty big position there, and they wouldn't let me. The price was absolutely skyrocketing, and they wouldn't let me buy any more. I could only sell. Well, not just me, anybody. I mean, ain't that some BS? Thoughts on TQQ? Let's see. So let me look at the daily. It's probably going down to 43, 41, 43 at some point in the coming days and weeks to hit this order block down here. Also would print a nice harmonic if it did that. Take out these relatively equal lows here, and then probably find its way back up to $58.50 to take out what's going on here. This liquidity is gone. So this is a big enough candle here that this triple top on the daily, relatively equal highs, definitely got taken out. So probably if it does eventually find its bottom here and go for its next target is going to be up here in the 60s off this harmonic that may develop. It hasn't developed yet. In terms of daily bias for the day, looking at the hourly, all these stops definitely got taken out. This is the Asian low. These two candles here on the hour, price came down, a lot of volatility, big upper wick, but then the second candle closed back above right here. Here's the close of the candle. That typically is a sign of, a liquidity sweep right there. Before it takes off, it's probably on smaller. Let me just go down here. Yeah, it's probably going to want to come down and fill this order block here. So I'm actually going to set a notification that if it comes down into the 45s, I'm going to see if I can go on even smaller time frames and then look for an inverse fair value gap. That's key. So you can see like here, for example, let's say you had said, all right, here's my order block. I'm going to wait for, price came down, bearish fair value gap. Here's an inverse fair value gap, and I'm going to wait for it to come back down, and then I'm going to buy. The problem, as you can see, is it did come back down, wicked completely through that order block, and then just fell off a cliff. The key is that when you're looking to make an entry, and there would have been nothing wrong with making this entry, as long as on lower time frames you can find like an inverse fair value gap and try and sniper entry that thing. So let's see, this is where it originally came down, inverse fair value gap, came back tested the order block. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Well, see here, this is, so accidentally looking at the wrong one, but here's kind of a perfect setup. Came down, inverse fair value gap, retested that fair value gap previous support, came back down into the original block order, and then moved away. But let's see what happened here. Yeah, I mean, this is this looks positive. Came back in. Probably would have entered here had I seen this, but the key is that your, I don't know, let's say you entered when it hit here, stop loss there. You're losing 0.5%. If you're wrong, you can target a 1-to-1. You could target 2-to-1 if you want to get greedy, 3-to-1. Obviously, your 3-to-1 never hit, but you could have started increasing. You know, once it pulled away, you certainly could have brought your stop loss up, so you really didn't lose anything when it came back down. But yeah, probably would have been difficult to take profit on this one, even on a 1-to-1, because you would have been targeting this liquidity. Probably the best thing you want to see, though, that would maybe stop you from entering this trade is you would have preferred to see there's really no manipulation move here. So ideally what you want to see is, let me go to a higher time frame. You want to see like a sweep of a low before you consider an entry, because if you just do a move like this and you haven't actually really swept any lower low, yeah, you can get pumps, but this is just a little bit of luck here. You know, conversely, if you try these moves here, is it even really worth it? You're just in chop at that point. You want to target, you know, some of the best setups look like this. Price has been trending up, puts in a higher high, sweeps some sort of major liquidity, break of structure, and then comes back up to put in another higher high. When it comes back down to test this block order, that's an excellent place to enter for a continued high. Somebody mentioned in comments yesterday on my YouTube that you know, when I was going over fair value gaps and block orders, like that they wrote something akin to, man, I wish I could understand all this, process this. So I guess going with the idea that I don't know who's tuning in, what their skill level is. I guess today, just real quick, let's go over what a Japanese candlestick is. So Japanese candlesticks were invented, I think, in the 1400s by Japanese rice traders. And what they started doing is graphically representing price action from day to day. I doubt in the beginning they were doing 5-minute, you know, but it was more like a day-to-day thing. They started graphically with these candles, putting in an open, a close, a high, and a low. So if you look at a Japanese candlestick, take this white one, for example, right here with the long lower wick. The price opened at the bottom of this body here. That was the opening price, 47.37. When the candle closed, it closed right here, up 47.44. At some point throughout the day, this price action went as low as the bottom of this wick, 47.18, and went as high as 47.48. So this is just a graphical representation of price action. Now, if you put all of these candles together, you start to develop patterns, harmonics, simple patterns like head and shoulders or consolidations, bear flags, bull flags, pennants, things like that. And then you take that information, put it in conjunction with volume. Volume is basically, quite simply, how much trading took place at these price points. So, for example, in this area here, when price was trading around the 48s, no one really cared. There wasn't really any trading going on. Not a lot of buying and selling. But when, for example, at 11:50 on March 6th, when this candle right here, this big red spike here, what this was price was trying to break through this level, right? Rejection, 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 and it really tried to make a push through. And the sellers obviously won this battle. There was more selling volume than there was buying volume. That's why this is red. That's why this is a bearish candle with 2 rejections there. They tried it one more time. Lesser volume that time. Yeah, the bulls won, but kind of an indecision candle. And then your next candle, there was some follow through in it, and it dropped. That's a simple way to understand Japanese candlesticks. APLD. So 2 thoughts come to mind on this one just at a glance. Break of this angular trend here. This is on a daily. If this was a manipulation move with the intention of shaking people out of their positions to then yeet it back up, I would have expected to see more of a quick recovery there, like a V-shaped recovery, like an inverse fair value gap. The fact that it's kind of just broken here and no one really increased the volume to defend, this just tells me that this is most likely a consolidation to further downside. Strong low right here. This is the order block. Possible entries would be in the 19 to 20 range. Not entirely sure that that would result in, if it does come down here, probably going to get some sort of reaction. Could be a minor liquidity sweep, but if you do get, again, on lower time frames, inverse fair value gaps on volume, you could then place an entry with a strong, tight stop loss. I don't think I would target way up here, like a new high. I would probably look to maybe target this equilibrium, this 50% fib around the 30s. If you look at the harmonic being formed, the shark, when it does find a bottom, target 1 of that harmonic would be about $33. So that would probably be what I would be looking for. Could you get some local bounces here in this chop? Yeah, of course. I can't predict, if the next candle is going to 29 or whatever, but the overall theme of this does not look like a turnaround point to me. We'll see how that one develops. All right, market opens in 10 minutes. I'm going to be trading for like an hour and a half, try and make some money. Don't know how much talking I'm going to be doing. I'm going to put some chill music on. Anybody who wants to stick around and watch is welcome to. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm doing my thing. I'm just doing it live so people can see whether it's a successful day or a hey mom, can I borrow some money type of day. But actually, it's probably the other way around. My mom wants to borrow money from me. All right, let me find some music. All right, markets are open. Here comes the volatility. I had to fix that indicator because it doesn't seem to have equated for time zone change. I wonder. Wonder if I'm going to have to change my indicator too. Hymns appears to be up 36%. Apparently erections are back in vogue. All right, so here's an interesting case study here. Turb had a break of structure here. So the order block that you target would be this one. Yeah, this is the last bearish candle before that break of structure. Relatively equal highs here. Did we get a liquidity sweep? That's the other key. Not really. Ideally, you want, for break of structure to be kind of validated, you want to see a sweep of liquidity. I guess this, no, it's not really a sweep of liquidity here. Two minutes to go in this opening range, and then we should start hopefully seeing some opportunities as it pops through. So here's a great example of DRT on the 5-minute for AAOI. Takes out a high, takes out liquidity to the low side. Drop your DRT fib, which is nothing more than a 25, 50, 75. And you'll notice when it broke the 25 here, the algorithm fair value gapped it. That's a very positive sign. Came back tested it. Just punched through the 50. This is something I'm probably looking to make an entrance on, targeting at least the 75 fib here. If I can get in like here, let's see. Oh, I'd probably put stop loss below this bullish engulfing with volume. It's not really a good risk to reward ratio. I caught this kind of late. I mean, let's see, would we be targeting that? This is your manipulation move. V-shaped recovery. See if I can get like a sniper entry on the 1 minute here. Bullish order block. Let me see how the swing failure ends on the 1 minute, because the bearish candle that holds with low volume, I might make an entry here. If it's increasing volume, that's showing more to the downside if it does that, if this volume goes over that volume. That pattern has already hit 4 targets. Oh boy. Where would the entrance on this one be? Well, I guess in retrospect, 5-minute candle, we want to make sure that we're not getting manipulated here with a 2-candle pattern that closes above and then closes back below. So let's wait another minute, see how this closes. High is $1.342. We want it to close above 42 cents. Let's load it up in case I want to buy it. AAOI. Hmm. 9 seconds. Bullish engulfing with volume. I would set my stop loss at $1.02. Yeah, I'm in. Let's see if I get wrecked. Set this real tight. $2.74. $2.92. Real tight, real tight. Yeah, got knocked out. It's all right. What did we lose there? $5. I suspect this one got a lot of people. With that candle, that second candle close above. Man, what a red day. Look at these. Red, 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 red. Try this one again. All right, well, 56 bucks on EONR here in profit. Let's see. I'm probably going to, at minimum, bring my stop loss up to break even. So that would be, what did I get in on this thing? 96. Let me see. Well, stop loss right now is 90. I'm going to raise it to 93. Let it sit there for now. Kind of hoping hymns will pop off here so I can make a erection joke. I don't like this so far, this setup here. So big pop up, no pun intended. You got some accumulation overnight, and then right at market open, they did a liquidity sweep. Hopefully we get some increasing volume and break out the top side of this opening range. I'm going to set a alert right there at 23 and change. What's MGRX doing? MGRX has hit my strong low and has now gapped up. If I was to enter, which I think I might, on that gap up, stop loss below this block order, that is 8%. Oof. But what are we targeting here? Equilibrium? Let's not get too greedy here. This order block right here, that's 10%. It's 138. Lower time frames. I think we might be able to get this cheaper. Yep. Be patient and let this come back one more time. And then we'll revisit it. For those who are new to watching the trading live on the stream, if you look in the bottom right corner, right about here, you'll see that's my current P&L for the day. Open positions. Took a $5 hit on something I traded. I don't remember at this point. But right now I'm in EONR, which is this one right here. And we got in at like 96 cents. Well, it's hit a 141 fib extension, so I'm probably going to raise my stop loss to like $1.03. Yeah, let's do that now before things go against us. $1.03. It's going to fight for that penny, or it is going to give up the ghost. But that's fine. If I get stopped out at $1.03 in profit, I'll take it. Yeah, right now it's really fighting for that penny. Ask bid is $1.05, $1.04, $1.05, $1.04. I've got my stop loss at $1.03. Stop loss on EONR. I moved up to $1.04. Ooh, this is tempting. Bullish engulfing. Point 0.4%. I could risk 0.4%. Come on, it's only money. Oh, I like this. Yeah, I'm in. We're going to go a little wider with the stop loss. Let's go right below this candle, do 1%. So that's 1962. Let's do 1961. Are you going to come for it? We'll do 1961. We get in on this filled at 1986. I mean, you got an opening range breakout, comes back, retests with a bullish engulfing with volume. I mean, if they get me, they get me. 1% is not that big a deal. Let's see if we can find anything else here. Yeah, somebody asked for a TA, I think, in chat on Fin. Not really anything I would be trading today. There's not enough liquidity. Let's check on EONR, see if I need to raise my take profit. Yeah, we're still humming along here. Stop loss currently is down here. Let's keep ourselves in profit though, with a little shelving here. Well, I'm at $1.03 right now, I believe. Let me double check. Stop loss right now is at $1.04. So right about here. Raise it to $1.06. We are now here. Double bottom. Liquidity hunt here. Came back up. Really got. Seller said no. And this block order up here Let's see what the big picture is here. Volume. Bulls are really trying. Already hit target 1 on this crab. A lot of liquidity up here. All through here. This is kind of a 50-50 play. I would lean more towards them sweeping this Asian low before it actually does go up to attack this liquidity. Plus the risk reward's not really there anymore because the move is so high up that if I enter here, you know, what am I really gaining? I'm basically buying more towards the premium than I am towards the discount. I'd rather buy at discount. All right, let's see. Open position here, EONR. Let's check on it again. Looks like right now, 126 on the day in profit in the bottom right of your screen. Current stop loss is at $1.06. What are we achieving here right now? We are in some sort of expansion. Let's do a basic fib here. I know we've already hit 141. Fib extension, I can see it just visually. There's 141. Yeah, I'm going to raise this to $1.09. Okay, so that order's been replaced. I mean, there's a chance here at this. First of all, we're in a premium. I mean, we've extended off this move. I'd love if it just kept rocking all day, but in terms of taking profits when you have it, one thing that I would be concerned about at this level is if it doesn't close above it and the next candle closes below, then you're probably looking at some sort of retracement back to the break of structure. So I'm gonna, you know, if that happens, I'd rather be in profit at $1.09 than kind of walk it all the way back. But let's hopefully it'll keep running. To the moon, baby, to the moon. BMNR is the other one I entered, currently down $17 on that. Let's see what's going on with that. Where are you? BMNR. Oh, getting close. But I mean, as you can see, it's pretty tight stop loss. Like, you know, if I think I have it at 1959 on Robinhood. If it gets taken out, you know, it's not the end of the world. Lose 30, 40 bucks. Yeah, EONR position is currently up 183. So you got 183 minus the 20 I'm down on BMNR, minus the 5 or 10 bucks I lost this morning in that other trade. So that's why it's showing 145. Just looking at the volume on the Robinhood chart, which is on the right side of my screen. You guys can't see it on EONR. It's definitely getting tired, the momentum. Let me pull it up here. Where are you? You see the volume is really dropping off on this move. So it might be, I think at this point, I'm just going to follow the bull candles. So right now, the bottom of this candle is $1.14. I'm going to raise my stop loss to that point. Yeah, right now we're playing with the 161 fib extension there. All right, so that's locked in on Robinhood at 114 to take profit. Let's keep searching. Yeah, this one I'm still hoping it's going to come back. MGRX. Here's your order block. This was your break of structure. It came back. It already did test that order block, but by the time I noticed it or felt confident with this inverse fair value gap, it already kind of had gone away from me. And I don't want to be entering here with 9% potential to lose because it can come back down. This one might have gotten away from me, but I'm not going to chase it now. I mean, if you think about it, here's a bearish fair value gap. We are in a downtrend. This could just be a simple back test of a 50 fib there. So I've got an alert set up, 35 cents. If it comes back into this block order, I'll start looking for another inverse fair value gap on a lower time frame. Yeah, I'm going to move the stop loss up on EONR to $1.16 right at the bottom of this candle. That's in. It's fighting on Robinhood. 118, 117, 118, 117, 118, 117. I got mine at 116. There, just triggered. So I am out of EONR. EONR ended up profitable, as you can see, bottom right corner. The only other position I'm in right now is BMNR, which I'm down $8 at the moment. $8. Stop loss on that is, let me just confirm on Robinhood, I have it at 1959. So right here, that's the stop loss. Hopefully this is a kind of bull flagging and we'll just get a simple kind of don't touch my stop loss type of bull flag. Like, hopefully that was the end of it. But I don't know. I would say this one's probably 50-50. I might lose a percent there. This is interesting. Double bottom, fair value gap. Already did a liquidity sweep. Taking this out. Back tested approximately a 50 fib retracement. A lot of volume too, as you can see. If I was to give you a shot, what would I do here? I would enter here right now. That's 0.6%. Where are you headed? Where could you be going? Don't see any fair value gaps. We are in a downtrend. This is triple liquidity. It has. Did it mitigate this? Has this been touched? Let's see. Double tap. That's the big one. I don't think it's coming for this. I guess if I was to enter now, I would set my stop loss just below the 50 fib, which would be here. It's 1.2, 73 cents. It's probably this shelf right here. It's 3%. It's 2.79 to 1. Yeah, let's give it a shot. What the hell? I'd say this is like a, on the ABC, A plus, setups, this would be like a C. I'm not going to put a lot of money into it. I do find this candle here interesting. Inverse fair value gap. Let's give it a shot. I'm in. Order filled, 75 cents. So, yeah, right about there. My stop loss, I'm going to put at 73. Yeah, I have to do 73. Do 73.5. Because I don't think Robinhood does good fills. If I do 74, I'm concerned I'll just end up getting wicked out. So 73. Well, let's see. On Robinhood, it would be 73. It would be way down here. What is that? That's 2%. It's a 1-to-1. Is there anything down there? I mean, there's that second fair value gap, but I would think that's unlikely. Yeah, 73. All right, stop loss is in on that. Got some alerts here. QQQ. Little opening range manipulation, bullish engulfing. What are they doing here? Let's see. Do we have, you got kind of decreasing volume here on this fair value gap. You would think this would be a stronger move, volume-wise. Don't really know what they're doing here. Probably set an alert at the midpoint of this fair value gap just to check it out again if it comes back down. Let's do a volatility screen, make sure I'm not missing anything here. That's on my list. That's on my list. Yep. These are all on my list. Let's see what ASNS is doing. All right, guys. I just realized it's 10:45. Stream usually ends at 10:30. Right now, up $176 on the day. Current open positions, BMNR, down 11 bucks. Beyond, I just entered. I'm up a whopping 30 cents. And obviously the one that was successful today on stream was EONR. That one. Basic strategy, opening range breakout. Where'd we get in? Down here. Opening range breakout. Really like this bullish engulfing candle with increasing volume. Entered there. Stop loss, I think, was about 94, 93 under this swing low. Then as we took off, no, I guess it wasn't there. Where was it? Where did I enter? I don't remember. Oh, I set the stop loss, I'm sorry, at I think 91, 92 below this gray order block. Anyway, after this wick, which never touched it, it was off to the races. And I think I moved, this white line here was moving my stop loss up into profit, originally at 97, 98. Then we shelved it, we brought it up again, and then really just started chasing the bull candles. Finally moved it right here to this white line, $1.16, because they did not like this 1 minute candle formation here. And then sure enough, 2 candles later, I got stopped out in profit, $1.16, and pulled $184 out of that. But yeah, so that's what we did today on stream. Thanks for anybody who joined us today. I appreciate that. I'm going to go get some breakfast.